really don't.
She wasn't serious, dude.
Welcome back to the show. Mike Straka here for Randy Harris on Knockout Radio. Matt, Street Nat Matt in the house.
What up?
What up? So,
what a show. We're having a great time today. I'm having a blast with Joe Marquis in the house.
Joe Marquis, for a guy who does roofing for a living, you should consider a radio career.
Man, it's not happening.
Yeah.
There's not enough money.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely not enough money.
I can sell one roof and make what I would make in a month.
I did try to hire him.
Yeah.
Are you guys hiring over there at the roofing?
We're always hiring salesmen, always.
Yeah.
West Florida Roofing, by the way. Shameless plug.
I could be a salesman. I can't do roofing, but I could definitely
You
sell.
do service Wesley Chapel?
Of course. Tampa area, period.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, we're past it. When Ian hit, I sold $2 million in 2 days.
Wow.
He's asking
That was
for
in
a
Northport,
job.
Port Charlotte, stuff like that.
Sure.
Yes, I am the one saying I hope a hurricane levels the Tampa area.
Wow.
Listen, everybody, I promise you, you're going to have brand new houses after I seen it. I seen it in Ian. Everybody literally upgraded their house, got new cars, just from insurance money.
It happened to us.
It's everybody lives better after a hurricane, and it makes the economy just literally shoot up
It
to the
happened
roof.
to us up north when Hurricane Sandy hit. Well, Superstorm Sandy hit, and boy, there was a lot of damage. And we have construction companies that were on the verge of bankruptcy before Sandy.
Nobody
Now
cares.
they're on top of the world.
It is. It's huge for the economy. It's huge for if you've been wanting to upgrade your home, stuff like
Now,
that.
do you think
It's not good for
And
the
they-
insurance
and they-
companies, though.
No, listen,
But screw
insurance
them.
companies are gouging.
Yep.
Who here likes insurance companies?
Nobody.
Anybody. Nobody. Right, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, what about solar? Because
Solar is the worst thing you can put on your house.
Yeah.
Well, I was told that a lot of insurance companies won't cover you if you install solar
That's not
onto
true.
your roof.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't get me wrong,
Blue.
it is the worst thing you can do to a shingle roof because every time I tear a roof off with solar on it,
You got to do the whole roof.
the wood is completely rotten underneath
Yeah.
it because you create all these
Yeah.
voids that water
Yeah.
can get into and rot the wood and
Correct.
create
Blue
leaks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
What
you
did you say,
can't-
Steve?
Was it a blue roof?
It wasn't a blue roof, but I'm going to look into these blue
So
roofs.
if I wanted,
You get upcharged.
so if I wanted to install a 112 pitch,
There's no such thing. That thing would be upside down. Dude.
I would like for when the snow falls, I would like for it to just melt naturally, just drain off.
So Joe,
What do you
he
mean?
gave you an upsell idea today. Like
I did.
everybody's got to sell. Everybody's
blue
got to buy a
roof.
blue roof now.
I got to look into these blue roofs.
Yeah.
Listen,
Well-
if they're like Democrats, they don't work.
Wow!
Just say it, right, Steve?
Whoa!
Right, Steve? Say it out loud,
So-
Steve. Don't just shake
No,
your
hold on,
head.
hold on.
We just went up to 45 million.
But let's go. But let's talk about that. There's a new show on Fox come out January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
It's an animation show. It's about two brothers called the Hoagie Brothers. They worked at a hot dog sausage factory.
Mm-hmm.
They lost their jobs to automation, and they go on to a basic universal wage of $3,000 a month.
Right,
And they do nothing because they don't have any skills in the real world.
right.
That's coming. I mean, that's a very democratic viewpoint.
That's like
of
working
just,
for UPS.
I don't know. Well, FedEx came from IU. We talked
Listen,
to Michael earlier
listen,
about.
I don't know where you come up with your ideas, man.
It's a show. It's an animation
Yeah,
show
but
coming
what did it
out.
have to, what did that have to do with anything?
January 1st. He's talking about working and doing nothing. Like they're
I
trying to
said
make it
the
to where
blue
you're
roofs.
talking about the Democrats don't work. You
Right,
said,
right.
but they're going to put you on a basic universal wage where people just get subsidies from the government to do nothing. Like that's what
Oh,
COVID.
no, what's his
they're
name was
giving
trying to
money
give
out.
$1,000 a month
Exactly,
for free.
$1,200 a month.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, listen, those are crazy radical things that will.
they're coming. You
I
got to be
hope
ready.
not, bro.
It's
I
coming.
hope not.
Let's talk about two UFC fighters, Dan and Jim Miller.
Mm-hmm.
They're brothers. Jim Miller, 55. Dan was 85. And they fought in a thing called Ring of Combat in New Jersey, which was like a local professional organization promotion. And Ray Lago's involved in Ring of Combat. You know Ray Lago,
Ray Lago.
Matt Sarris.
Yeah.
So Jim and Dan Miller, they were fighting for the titles, respectively, for Ring of Combat before they were UFC. But their father owned a construction company.
Right.
So they went and weighed in on a Friday morning, and then they had to go to work for their dad that night. And they were roofing. They were doing. They don't tell me the story. They're depleted.
Steve, Jesus.
They had,
I would think something's wrong if I pay attention to you.
they had just weighed in. Now they're up on a roof. They're both woozy. They're telling me we're up on a roof. It's woozy. And then the clouds came in, and they didn't finish the roof. So their father's like, "You got to put a tarp on." So they're trying to. And then they had to fight for the titles the next night. And then yeah. What
Roofing, listen, roofing, especially in Florida, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you're in the middle of Death Valley. It's not as hot in Death Valley, by the temperature it is, but when it comes to sweat and how it feels, and you can barely breathe.
And how heavy are those shingle pallets?
Well, I didn't do a lot of shingles. I was a metal roofer,
Okay.
but still, I had jobs where the metal panels were 200 foot long, and I had 10 people trying to work in unison, and every one of them is fighting with each other.
And they're
you know what
sharp
I mean?
too. If you can cut your hands on those things.
Well, yeah, you can if you grab it in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Listen, I've got, I don't know, probably over 100 stitches in my hands over the years.
Wow.
Just from dealing with metal. I refuse to put on gloves. You can't work with gloves. You can't feel nothing. Your stuff goes down.
Yeah.
I know, Steve. We're a bunch of women.
So let me just go back because you guys think I'm crazy.
Yep.
But Fox renews. Hold on. You came from Fox Network. You know this. So you could probably call and find out if this is actual credible. Fox renews Universal Basic Guides.
If I could still call Fox, you've got me sitting here right now.
prior
He's
to season-
blocked.
Prior to
Can you call
season
Tucker
one.
Carlson?
Hold on. Prior to season 1 debut. This whole sitcom.
I know. I'll walk. It's
and my
probably not
problem
good
with
to
this,
try to look in the last
but,
8 minutes.
But my problem with this is that they've depicted the role of a man to be this fat boob on like animation. So you have Family Guy, you have Peter Griffin, Homer Simpson, you've got the Hoagie Brothers, you've got the
The
American
man's
Dad.
never
The only
ugly.
one actually had a physical like demeanor of a strong, fit
Yeah.
guy, military, like a patriot.
American
but they
Dad.
made him like over the top and offensive and not relatable and just overbearing.
Unlikable.
But like,
Right.
then go back to real life. You have Al Bundy,
Yeah.
who was a black belt.
Yeah,
was
but
a
that's
jiu-jitsu.
real life.
But most of the sitcoms are the same way.
It's
But-
all. Yeah,
but
the
that's-
man's
but that's
Like
not
never
real.
Everybody Loves Raymond. He was a
Roseanne.
goofball.
Roseanne was a freaking.
Are you guys relatable to
Kevin
this?
James.
Roseanne, I definitely was.
Kevin
Roseanne
James.
was my family.
Okay.
Like the Kevin James show. Like they were all big fat guys, and
So why can't we change that narrative? Like, I'm not that guy.
because the networks are marketing and their viewership, the demographics are all overweight guys who are sitting on a couch watching their shows.
Or they're creating them by
No,
saying
they-
this
no,
is normalized,
no,
this is what they are,
no,
this is what
they're-
you should be.
Because people
this is
watch what they
normal.
relate to.
Nah, forget that. Let's build
No.
warriors. Let's build champions. Let's build like people
That's what the
strong
movies
and
are.
fit.
That's what the movies are
How
for.
about this? Concentrate on your children,
Yeah.
make them savages, and they will literally take over the world.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's nothing but soy boys and woe is me out there
Yeah,
right now.
for
Any
participation
job they want.
trophies.
No, absolutely. You can literally send your child into anything. Your child doesn't even have to be that book
That's right.
smart, but you send it into the corporate world because of today's age and children, it is going to excel just by work alone.
Just like Sammy Hagar at 76 is fit and is in shape, we have to keep getting in shape
Listen,
for us men. Like
my-
us, right here, all
I'm
four of us.
45 years old. I'm not stepping into a new industry.
Exactly.
It's just
No, but
not
you
going
gotta
to
step
happen.
into a new physique. Like, you gotta step
No,
into
no.
a new
Listen,
health.
being looking the way I do when I walk into a sales meeting and stuff, or meet somebody new, there's almost automatic respect right there because it didn't come overnight.
Right.
It just
Yeah,
doesn't.
for sure.
It's something
Yeah.
that it's delayed gratification.
I love when people ask me, "Oh, Mike, you work out?" I'm like, "Yeah, my whole life." Like, what are you talking about? Do I work out? I've been working out since I was 5 years old, bro.
It is instantly respected.
But we are the minority. There's not a lot of us like that.
Good, that means
that's
we'll-
why we
that we-
attract each other.
Steve, what do you got?
I don't work out.
Yeah, we're-
No, but
You
you're
look like
no,
you do,
but
Steve.
you're a musician. You can get any woman you
Yeah.
want.
You
Yeah,
just
come
like,
on.
It doesn't matter how
you just
good we
dunk
look.
literally dunk your hair into the water and come up real fast.
every time we're on the road, they're like, "Is that Pamela Anderson?" I'm like, "It is. It is."
No, but listen, there's something about musicians that get any
I
woman
don't
they
even know
want.
what it is because there's some ugly.
Yeah.
Not you, Steve. You're a good looking.
No,
man.
but it's true. You're right.
But listen,
Like, look at Rick Ocasek. He was married to Paulina
David Lee
Porizkova.
Roth. David Lee
Yeah.
Roth was rough,
You,
man.
you
Yeah.
play into their emotions when you
Yeah.
play.
No, it is. It's
They-
women love
women
music.
melt.
What's the guy that married Pamela Anderson?
Don't worry
Tommy
about
Lee.
it, Tommy.
Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee.
Yeah, but let's not go into Pamela.
He was a decent looking guy, though. Tommy Lee was actually a decent
Pamela
looking
Anderson looks like Sammy Sosa now.
guy. Or Sammy Sosa looks like Pamela Anderson.
Tell me I'm wrong. Am I wrong? I'm a bad guy now.
Dude, I think the producer in there is laughing. He's like, we're getting thrown off.
He has no idea what it is. People are. He's
We
like,
haven't had this much fun in 40 years.
he's like,
He hadn't had this much
Randy's
fun
not
since
here.
He worked for, what's that? Rushmore. What's his
Mount?
No,
Rush?
Rush. Yeah,
Rush Limbaugh.
Rush Limbaugh.
My boss was Rush Limbaugh.
Does anybody know CPR?
I'm like,
3 minutes.
He's even got the cadence down. 3 minutes for you at home.
Casey Kasem.
Casey.
Stay tuned for the rest of the story. Paul Harvey.
The next top 10 coming up next.
Oh yeah, who's your Mount Rushmore? Oh, you already
I
said
already
it.
said it.
yeah.
Listen, that's
it-
how Mount Rushmore. It's not
It
top,
stunk.
not better of all time.
And
How?
Roy ruined it. You know, everybody
Who's Roy?
boos when everybody gets on the mat nowadays.
Who's Roy?
No, rolling.
You know,
rolling.
Ois.
Hoist.
Hoist.
How did he
Royce.
ruin it?
No,
He
no,
ruined it. It's boring now.
no. You're talking about the lay and pray guys.
Yeah, the lay and pray.
Lay and pray wrestlers.
He was
You know,
submitting everybody.
If you think about it, Matt Hughes was a very strong wrestler. He wasn't a skilled fighter. He was a very strong
Till he
wrestler.
met a real somebody who just
Yeah, George St. Pierre.
George St. Pierre.
You know, and the same thing. Ken Shamrock is arguably the first well-rounded mixed martial arts fighter.
Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, Ken Shamrock. He had
2 minutes.
he had the shoot wrestling. He had the
His
ground game.
boxing sucked.
Well,
I mean, it
yeah,
was
but
never. Tito Ortiz beat him boxing,
Yeah,
and
but-
Tito Ortiz's boxing sucked.
Yeah, but Frank's. I mean, Ken is a little off the wall. You know?
I would think that, and I'm not saying
And
that
Frank was also well-rounded mixed martial arts.
Frank was more well-rounded than
Yeah, and Ken was.
Ken
yes.
was.
But
yeah.
Ken was before him. Though. Yeah,
Frank.
okay, I agree with
Yeah.
that. I do agree with that.
Frank. Frank. It's Frank.
What are you
I
talking-
think the first most real, well-rounded fighter
George.
ever was George St. Pierre.
Yeah, George. I agree. Yeah, he had it all. He
What,
had.
Steve?
And he
say
was-
something. Don't just huff and
he
puff.
was so handsome.
But
He's a good-looking dude.
Yeah, he is.
But even with all the tools and all the talent, he still had mental health issues.
Yeah, of course.
I think
Everybody has
everybody's
mental
got.
health
I've
issues.
definitely got
you
mental.
know who the most-
I'm a male chauvinist. You know, I think a woman belongs in the kitchen.
Whoa,
1 minute.
Well, there was the show.
In my opinion,
Thanks for
the
tuning
most-
in. Knockout Radio has been a blast. We had a great career. I had fun. 10 years. I'm out.
Show comes in one time and we're done.
The show.
What you done?
Yeah.
You done, Steve?
Oh yeah.
So
He just hit me.
I think Frank Mir.
Don't put that on.
He just hit me.
I think Frank Mir was like one of the most underrated fighters. That,
Frank Mir was good too.
yeah,
Listen,
he was great.
Frank Mir, that's my buddy.
you know him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one.
30 seconds.
Imitate ongoing. Imitate Mark Coleman on his Instagram right now. Go.
No, that was Frank Mir.
I know, but I want you to
Oh,
imitate Mark Coleman.
Frank has been on
82
the
for
back of my
life,
truck. Frank's been on
87,
the back of my
whatever.
truck before.
Sober life forever. Sober life.
So, no, who was it? And who's he hang
Sobriety's
out
cool.
with? I know who's he hang out with. Liver King.
10
Oh,
seconds.
Wes Sims.
All right, guys, this has been a blast of a show.
Yeah.
This has been Knockout Radio. I'm Mike Straka.
Counting down
Sitting
5
in
and we're out.
for Randy Harris. Tune in next week.
Deuces.
Hi, this is Sergio Garcia, and you're talking